like we've talked about this many times on the show, but I think we have a lot of new listeners, and it's always a fun conversation. But like, they've proven that light is conscious.
Right.
They've proven this with the photon double slit experiment. They know now, without a shadow of a doubt, that if you observe light and the way that it behaves at the photon level, it changes its performance and its outcome. And actually, it can collapse its structure from a particle into a wave, basically denoting that it has infinite functions in reality. It can change its form. It can just become completely different essence at will, as long as it's not being observed. When we, the living beings, are observing a photon of light, it behaves according to algorithms. You turn on a light, you see the light. You're looking at the stars. Photons are traveling billions of light years to reach your eyes. They're going straight, so to speak.
Right.
But when you're not observing them, they don't go straight. They go infinite. What does that mean? Why? Why is that possible? You know what I mean? And like,
why does it need an observer?
Right. And I've come to, like a toroidal field? Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before. It's like, it kind of looks like a donut. It's like a magnetic.
The donut collapsing in on itself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You started talking donuts.
And we talked about this before, I think with Vincent, actually, on the Vincent episode. Shout out Vincent. We're going to have him on really soon.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, my God.
He's going to come on this summer. Woo. But we talked about this on his episode, like the tree of life. Actually, remember they show it like above and below in some cases with the branches, and then it goes underground with the roots. Mm-hmm. It's like a toroidal field. Yeah. And I believe that's truly what reality is. I believe that we exist in a toroidal field of light, and I believe it's constantly like collapsing in and on itself. Like when the light is not being observed, it phases out of the rules of reality and just exists infinitely. And then when it's being observed, it's like, oh guys, we got
get it together.
The show's on.
Yeah.
It's like the magic stage. The show's on, everybody, and the rules happen to give us the illusion of an existing material reality. It's like a magic trick. It's like a big illusion, I think we are literally in a matrix of light.
Well, I think we are like a big part of that, right? Like it makes me think about how everything is mental. Like
magicians need an audience.
Right. Well, all of this light, if we weren't here, all of the light would still be here, but the light is the way it is because we are here.
Yeah.
It's the whole tree falling and no one hears it thing. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of thing. Like, did it even happen? Is it there? It's like, it's a philosophical thing. Did it happen if no one witnessed it?
And it's like, well...
And when you get metaphysical, it's almost like, well, it happened because you witnessed it, like literally.
Yeah.
We have proof of that. Like, light literally behaves differently because you're looking at it.
And if you ask, the same thing about like if the tree, fell in the forest, did it make a sound? Well... No, because there was nobody there with the little hair in their ears to observe the waves, but it made waves.
Right.
It produced something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't observed by a living being.
Sound is defined by when it's perceived.
Yeah, everything is.
Exactly. When those waves are perceived. It's like that's a thing that has been philosophized.
Which is a real word.
For a very, very, very long time. But until the photon double slit experiment, we didn't know that like it's actually a thing. Like it really does behave differently when we're looking at it.
So this poses another question then. If we know and understand, at a basic level, that this universe exists the way that it does because it is being perceived the way that it is being perceived, what about when as a species we come together and we start in our minds with our higher senses perceiving the truth about the higher realities? What will we be able to reach out and grasp?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's almost as if we'll have access to like senses that we didn't know existed, that we didn't have
and
before.
That is how we are going to evolve. I truly believe the way that we're going to evolve in the age of Aquarius is going to be a mental thing. We're not going to be having like 6 arms and freaking...
Right.
I got a third eye antenna on my head. Like,
dang it.
He's like, I want a third leg. 4th. My dad made a joke to me a few weeks ago. God. Dad made it was a joke, but it was like kind of serious. He was like, I think Teddy's going to be levitating things when he's older.
Levitating things.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, son, I mean, as more people become aware of the lights, our abilities are going to progress as a species. I mean, it's the domino effect. It's like they've proven it's called morphogenetic resonance. I think it was Rupert Sheldrake who proved this one. They had it was monkeys or rats or something like that. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm just talking concepts here, but they would take these rats and they would put them in a specific type of maze. And then around the world, or other rats would start being able to rapidly solve these mazes.
On the other side of the planet.
There was something about monkeys. It's like monkeys all around the world are popping up, starting to be able to use tools.
Yeah. Did you say Rupert Sheldrake?
Did I get that one wrong?
You're spot on.
Oh, okay.
Dang, dude.
Morphogenetic resonance?
Yeah.
Pulled
And
that
I
one out of
also,
a
I
hat.
don't know why when you started talking about your dad, I for some reason I thought you were keying up a joke and then you started talking about this.
No, I'm dead serious.
Yo, do you know the thing? Another example of what you're talking. Well, it's a little different than the morphogenetic resonance, I think. But do you know about coral and the weird telepathy that coral has? Okay, so let me see. Oh, I remember. So the same species of coral, they have an extremely precise process for the way that they release. It's equivalent to spores, how they kind of reproduce. It's not on the same day every year. It's not even on the same month every year. But when it happens, every coral on the planet that is of that same species of coral release spores instantaneously.
What?
Meaning you could literally go out to the ocean right now, get a piece of coral, go on the other side of the planet from it, and when the coral where you got it from spore, the one that you took across the planet will spore instantaneously.
See, that's wild just because of the differences, right? I mean, temperature differences,
altitude,
daytime
pressure.
Yeah.
There's so many variables.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's like telepathy.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know what to call it, but
they tapped in.
They're tapped in. It's instantaneous. It's not the same day. It's but which that alone would be crazy.
Yeah.
Already because there's not a set day or time during the year that they do it, but instantaneously all around the planet.
What if it's